Alrighty, folks, happy Wednesday morning. I'm Ozarks First Meteorologist Tom Schmidt in Springfield, Missouri, and we have some exciting news on the horizon about radar technology. We're talking about phased array radar. Okay, this is going to be the next generation, potentially, of weather radar. Now, some quick information on the background. The current network of weather radars in the United States was installed in the late 1980s into the late 1990s. It took about a 10-year period to set up that current radar network, and it's combined with 160 weather radars that make up that network. These radars are known as the NEXRAD, the Next Generation Radar, WSR-88D radars. That's the Weather Surveillance Doppler Radars, 1988, okay, is when that was developed and installed into the current national network. Now, some background information on radars in general. This technology was first put to use in World War II, became helpful for the military use, and they decided to switch it over and see if they could do some kind of weather developments with it. And they did. By 1957, we had our first weather surveillance radar. Now, Doppler radar technology came about in the 1960s and gained traction as the next big thing for radars in the 1970s. Now, there were some private companies that were able to deliver Doppler radar products in the 70s and middle 80s before the National Weather Service was able to put together their national network of radars. But in general, the current radar network was set up in 1988, with the final radar being installed, I believe, in 1998 up in northern Illinois. Well, as you can imagine, yeah, the network is getting a little old, right? The technology is still fantastic. It still leads the way as one of the best radars in the world right now. Some of the best technology in the world for radars is because of the WSR-88D radar network that we have in the United States. But it's getting a little old, right? It's some radars are getting over 30 years old. Now, there have been continuous updates and modifications over the years, but the 30-year-old network is getting time to be replaced, and we need to find another reliable replacement, and that's where phased array radar comes in. So your typical radar beam or radar network today looks like those domes. You'll see those. That picture right there is the new phased array radar. It's got kind of the blue dome on it, but it's really on the inside that makes the difference. That's the new look. That's what the new phased array radar face looks like. The old ones, the WSR-88D radars, have more of that kind of, satellite dish look to them. The phased array, flat. It's digital. Meanwhile, and there it is. That's what we currently use. Looks like that satellite dish, right? And the phased array one is more of that flat face. It's all of a digital interface as opposed to a mechanical use like the WSR-88D radars are. Okay, so now the radars, the latest update from this next-gen radar, scans the skies in roughly 1 minute. Pretty impressive. That's a huge advancement from the current radar, WSR-88D, which takes about 5, 6, in some cases up to 8 minutes to make a scan. Put things in perspective, that means it takes 8 radar scans from the new radar in the time it takes the old ones, one we currently use, to do 1. That's pretty impressive speed changes there. The scan time increases rapidly from the old to the new, and which means less time between scans means better and more timely warnings. We're not just getting a 5-minute image of the sky, we're getting a minute-by-minute scan of the atmosphere. For tornadoes and severe weather, that's pretty important. That's a big deal. A lot changes in just a matter of minutes for severe weather. Phased array radars, they also have the ability for the user to direct the radar beam where they want it to go. Now, in terms of the national network of radars, the user would be the National Weather Service, right? They're their radars. They can control them. Now, that too, having the ability to pinpoint exactly where you want to steer the radar beam translates to faster scan time during severe weather. So imagine this. Imagine there's only one storm in the atmosphere, a single storm, okay? Well, the current radars, you have to go a whole scan, right? Entire scan. You're scanning a lot of clean air, okay? You can sometimes direct the current radars to where you can pinpoint just one storm, but we are also picking up, again, that you can pinpoint one storm itself and only look at that one storm, very fine detail, and that'll also cut back on the time it takes to produce a scan, which will be helpful during the severe weather storm days for you. Okay, now there are some drawbacks or limitations, disadvantages to the phased array radar. There's two that kind of stand out. First, obviously the new technology is expensive when compared to the WSR-88D radars. Secondly, the radar azimuth, which is kind of the angle, think of it like a pie, right? 360 degrees is a whole pie. So the horizontal angular distance from true north on these phased array radars currently is at 120 degrees, a third of the pie, right? Now the current radars, WSR-88Ds, that radar has an azimuth of 360 degrees, full circle. So your range is a little limited right now on the phased array radars at current stand. That they're working on, of course, it's still in the research stages, so things will still be worked out and developed over the years as time goes by. But still, this will get us as close to real-time data as we've ever seen. Phased array technology has been around for about 20 years, but there's been some really fascinating developments in it. And by the way, our current radar network is scheduled to stay in operation through 2035. All right, but then once 2035 passes, they're having to look at, okay, do we want to make the change? So it's still going to be about another 10 years or so before we see any kind of developments or changes being made. But hey, for the time being, it's an exciting step to see what the future can hold for this next generation of phased array radar. Time will tell if phased array, in the end, will replace the legacy radar system once 2035 passes. I'm meteorologist Tom Schmidt with Ozarks First in Springfield, Missouri. Happy Wednesday. Exciting developments from radar perspective. And there's always a lot of exciting things happening in the weather. This is just one of them. And stay up to date. I threw some links in the story below. Go check it out, ozarksfirst.com, and follow some of those links too. There's some really interesting information on there if you want to get more in depth.